Welcome to Living with Grandpa John. Today we're going to make ourselves some beef stew. It was supposed to be venison soup, but I ran out of venison. Okay, thank you. Well, welcome to Living with Grandpa John. Today we're going to do beef stew. It was going to be venison stew, but I used up all my venison. So we're going to have beef stew. Okay, first we're going to start by braising the beef. Now the first thing about your meat that a lot of people don't do, they take it straight from the refrigerator and they dump it and they, do all their stuff to it, and they start browning it. And you need to get it at room temperature. That way when you sear it in, you're not, it's going to be cooked all the way through evenly. Because if it's like cold in the center, the outside will be nice and brown, but the inside will be raw, basically. So when you put it into your stew, the outside will be cooked faster than the inside, and just not very pleasant. So we're gonna start by putting some flour on our beef. We're gonna add some salt to our flour. I'm gonna add some pepper to our flour. I'm going to add some garlic powder. And some onion powder. And some paprika. Now, paprika is a personal preference. I just happen to like the flavor that it does. Now, I'm not putting that much in there. Maybe a teaspoon at most, half a teaspoon. Just to give it a little extra. And of course, now we need to mix it up. And we're going to do it. So now we need to turn the heat on. Here. Oil in the bottom. Let that heat up. And we're going to do this in batches. And of course, I've already brought the beef up to room temperature. I've also gone and patted it dry, and I cut off any of the gristle or any of the unpleasants that might have been on it earlier. Nobody likes to bite into gristle. So I go through each piece and I just cut the gristle off. Right now, I'm putting some flour on my meat, because that way I don't have to put as much flour in later to make my gravy thicken up. I will end up putting probably a tablespoon or two later on to thicken it up, but if you're always worried about not cooking off the flour part, making it kind of kind of bread tasting, it tastes like bread instead of meat. So, and when you put it in the pan, you want to make sure that you're not crowding it. Now we're going to wait for our oil to get hot. You want to get a shimmer on the oil. And you don't want to crowd it. You want it to brown, but you don't want it to get steam basically. If you put it too close together, it'll steam instead of brown. So we're not going to cook it all the way through. We're only going to cook it on the four sides. And we're going to set it aside. And I need to get a bowl to put the meat in when I'm done, to save it for later. And I've already gone through and I prepared everything. I've already cut the mushrooms up because you don't need to see me cut mushrooms up. I've already got the carrots ready. I got the herbs ready. I got the potatoes already washed and stuff. You don't need to watch me wash potatoes. Same thing as the beef. I got that. I got the onions cut up. Everything is just ready to go. We're just going to put it together now. It's still going to take 3 hours to cook all of this, but we're just going to do it in stages. I'm going to finish doing all of these, and when I'm done, I'll get back to you. Alrighty, well, we got all the meat browned, ready to go. Now we're going to do some onions. Just going to dip them in there. And we're going to get ourselves a spoon. I'm going to start with the onions, then we're going to go to the mushrooms, and then we're going to add the, we just follow along, add the wine, add the broth, add the meat back, cook it for about 2 hours, then add the carrots and the potatoes for the last hour. Let's see how it goes. It should come out pretty good. Oh yeah, this is about 1.5 pounds of beef. I put 1 large onion because we really like onion in ours. Medium onion would have been just fine. I have about 1.5 pounds of potatoes, about 1 pound of carrots. About between 1/2 and 3/4 pounds of carrots. And I have, I don't know, about 3 cups of the mushrooms. But the mushrooms are going to, shrink down because they're 90% water. And as you stir fry them, they'll cook down. And I'm using Winco's products. They're not sponsoring me. I wish they would. But I'm just using it because it's tomato paste. It doesn't need a whole lot. Let's start by, we're going to deglaze it a little bit. I put about 1 cup in there. We may add some more later. Get all the little bits off the bottom. Get that mixed in. Now we're going to cook. Of course, the alcohol is going to evaporate. So we're actually after the flavor, not the alcohol anyway. Let that cook for a little bit. Let it reduce down a little bit. Okay, we're going to add our mushrooms. And the mushrooms, all I did was go through, rinse them off, get a little dirt off of them. I cut some of the ends of the stems off, and I cut them into large chunks because I like my mushrooms. Because when you think about it, after they shrink down, after the moisture comes out, if you cut small pieces, it's going to be really, really small pieces. So I cut medium-sized pieces, so they'll be, you know, medium small pieces. So now we're going to put some salt and some pepper in there. As you know, you see, season in layers. And I have just a dash of onion powder left. I'm just going to use that. All gone. And a dash of garlic powder. About half a can of tomato paste. And using the mushrooms to wipe off the extra. And so we're going to slowly let this simmer down a bit. Stir it in, mix everything up. This is going to cook for about 15-20 minutes. Get everything incorporated. And then I'll start adding the beef broth, which is homemade beef broth, by the way. And I'm getting low on beef broth, so we're going to have to do a video of me showing you my recipe for beef broth. Yeah, and as you know, broth is made from bones and stock is made from meat. So this is my beef broth. And it seems to be very popular, but if you notice when you look at it, there's a little bit of fat on top because fat equals flavor. I could skim all of that off and have strictly, fat-free bone broth, and some people like that. I like the little extra flavor that's in there. So I'll be back in about 15 minutes. Okay, now we're going to get ready to start building up our stew. First we're going to start with adding some beef broth. If you don't have beef broth, of course you can use water. I'm just not a big fan of water because water doesn't have much flavor, to be honest. Go beefy. Now we're going to add our bay leaves, our one piece of sage, some thyme, some rosemary, and I don't break them up, I leave them on the stems. That way I can pick them out later. The joys of having grandkids, you gotta tell them to keep the noise down. But I wouldn't change it for the world. They keep me hopping. And now I'm going to add the beef back in. And all of the juices that accumulated with the beef, they go back in. And I'm going to add just a dash more wine because I like the flavor it gives me. And the wine is optional, you don't have to put it in. Alright, so now we're going to wait and put the lid on it. I'm going to bring it up to a boil and we're going to cook it for about 2 hours. But I'll bring it up to a boil, then bring it down and let it simmer for 2 hours. The stew's all done now. I'm going to put a little pad out here, see how it looks. Bring this over. There we go. And turn that off. Now, to be honest, I think I put a little too much sage in it because I smell, the number one spice I smell is sage. So next time, I'm just going to delete the sage completely. But I'm going to get a bowl and try a couple pieces and let you know how I think it turned out. It smells pretty good, except for the little hint of sage. Alright, so get ourselves a couple of potatoes, a couple of carrots, some beef, and a couple of mushrooms. I love mushrooms. So, a little fork, testing the meat. To be honest, you could use a little bit of salt. So, going through. A little bit of sea salt. Give that a little stir. Let's try a carrot. And the carrot cooked perfect. It's still firm, but cooked all the way through. It's not mushy, but it's cooked. The mushrooms. Same thing, the mushrooms picked up a little bit of that wine in there. And they're cooked all the way through, that they still hold their shape. Now let's check out the potatoes. Yeah, I think it came out great. It needed a little salt at the end there, but everybody has their own taste anyway, so it might be just right for you guys. I mean, give it a shot. Try it. Let me know. How do you do your stews differently than I did mine? No. My only suggestion is cut back on the sage. Everything else is fine. Thank you very much, and we'll try something new next time. And down in the comments, let me know what you want me to cook. I'll give it a shot. Thank you. Bye-bye.